lot of, okay. So I know a lot of Matajis, especially, and also some Prabhujis, when they listen to lectures, they're usually like keeping them on the side of their kitchen while they do some cooking. So this is going to be a picture slideshow. So not really because I'm a great storyteller or anything, but because it's really the pictures that have come from the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and in general, the artists are so amazing. I would really request that you just maybe just keep it in a place where you can also see the slides, because they're such beautiful paintings. So our story for chapter 12 begins, again, back on the banks of a sacred river, where Maitreya Muni is speaking with Vidura and answering all of his many questions on divine topics. And so they are wrapping up talking about the Supreme Lord's feature as Kala, or time. And now Maitreya Muni wants to go on to talk about the creation of Lord Brahma being a personal feature of the Lord. So the first thing Brahma creates is the different negative things like deception, sense of death, anger, frustration, false pride. So he creates all of these negative things in this world because, well, the material world, it can't really work as a material world without these components. So he makes all of these very difficult qualities for the material world. So seeing such creation as a very awful task, and although necessary, really a misleading task for the civilization, he didn't feel really good about it. And so he took some time to meditate on Krishna to begin another term of creation. So the first thing he created after this were the 4 Kumaras after his meditation with Krishna. And these 4 Kumaras are Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. And Lord Brahma said, I would like you to go and create progeny. But because they were attached to Krishna, Vasudeva, they did not aim for this kind of material life, and they wanted liberation. So Brahma became incredibly angry as a father not seeing his wishes being fulfilled. And from that anger, through his third eye, came out a baby of bluish and reddish color. And the baby started to cry very loudly. And Brahma, he consoled the baby and gave him some places of residence, some names, and some wives as well. So he arranged for this baby named Rudra, to have some space of his own, some wives, and different forms as well. So he has this, they created 11 Rudras with 11 wives, Rudranis. And so these 11 Rudras, he told them, okay, now this is my next experiment. Okay, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanatana, they did not want this creating progeny. So I'm not going to instruct you. You go ahead and please go fill this world. Very enthusiastically, Brahma told him, go fill the world with progeny. And so the 11 Rudras went out to their respective places, and they started to create different descendants. And the different descendants, because they had the same quality of the Rudra, they were incredibly strong, fierce, and had a very furious nature. And they came to devour the creation of Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma was very upset by this. Oh, I've created all of these 11 Rudras, but their descendants are creating havoc in my universe. What should I do? And so Lord Brahma told the Rudras, my dear son, you would better situate yourself in penance, because this is auspicious for all living entities. So instead of creating progeny, please meditate and stay in penance. And so Rudra, taking this instruction to his heart, this instruction to his heart, that penance can only be the way to attain perfection or Krishna. He bowed his head to his father. He circled him a few times, spoke some beautiful words of praise, and he went to the forest to meditate. So we have this beautiful picture of Lord Shiva meditating on his supreme goal, Sri Krishna. So now Brahma, second experiment, he tries once more. And this picture maybe requires to look a little closely. So let's go to this picture. So what Brahma does next is he starts a new term with creation of the different sages. So Marichi, Atri, Vasishta, Pulastya, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu. So Vasishta is here, Daksha, and Narada. So you can see Narada is near his heart. So all of these wonderful sages are born from the different parts of their body, also showing their different natures and relationship to Brahma. And so then other things became manifest, such as religion, lust, greed. All of these things were manifested. Kardama Muni was manifested. Finally, once this term of creation was finished, Lord Brahma, by the potency of the spiritual, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gets into difficult work where he really exhibits for us how anyone can come under the sway of the potency, the potency of the Lord, the covering potency of the Lord. And so he gets attracted to his daughter by the potency of the Lord. And upon realizing this, what has happened? The 9 sages, they come to Lord Brahma, and they tell Lord Brahma, my dear father, what's happened? How did this terrible thing happen? How did this sin happen? What are we to do? And so Brahma, he starts to realize, and he begins to repent, and all of the sages, including Brahma, they make this beautiful prayer. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who by his own effulgence, so his dazzling light effulgence, while situated in himself, has manifested this cosmos. May he also protect religion for all goodness. And so Brahma, upon repenting like this, he decides it's best to give up this material body, symbolizing this mentality of wanting to enjoy. And so when he does this, a dense fog takes up the darkness because from his body. Dense fog takes up the darkness of creation. And so he takes up a transcendental body to produce the next term of creation. And so again, this thought is coming into his head. Well, what can we do next? So through his thinking, the Vedas are born, the 4 kinds of things to conduct sacrifice are born. So different paraphernalia for sacrifice. There is the 4 Vedas from his mouth, so you'll see here. And along with the 4 Vedas, there's also the medical science over here, which is born. What else can we see? The power of speaking. All of this is born in this next term of creation. Also, Sare Gama Pa. So the 7 notes of music are born. The thread ceremonies. All of these incredible, unique things are born from, are inaugurated from Brahma at this point. But finally, he comes to the point where he again asks, seeing that given some time to the 9 sages, that still really the world isn't filling up with population at the rate that he wanted it to. And so he's wondering, alas, it is wonderful, and I'm reading from text 51, that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. There's no other cause for this misfortune by destiny. So while he was meditating on this issue, two beings came from his body and they united together. And out of this form, two people emerged, a male form and a female form. The male, known as Swayambhuva Manu, or the father of mankind, and his good wife, Satarupa. So the queen of the great soul Manu. And so they began to, as you can see, finally, they began to beautifully increase the population so quickly. So quickly. And so you can see this really beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam family tree. And it really goes into lots of detail. You can see over here, Krishna, Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu, and then Priyavrata, Uttanapada, Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, and all of their descendants. And far down. All right. So, so today we'll be taking a look at those last few verses where I'll also do it quickly because the summary took a little long, but also I'll give a few reflections that I was having when I was thinking about these last few verses. Oftentimes, I've also had this real desire in my life, like I want to draw a family tree. I want to know how I'm connected to everyone in my family. I want to know how far it goes and everything. So I was thinking this natural desire to know where we come from, to know, where do I come from? My singular identity. Where is that coming from? To know that is very deep within the living entity. There's like different systems right now. There's like different businesses. Maybe some of you have heard. There's Ancestry.com. There's like 23andMe. There's different DNA tests one can take to, or even records. One can look very deeply into the historical record to find some knowledge about who they are in terms of their family heritage. And it's very interesting that no matter we go even so far back, we will always end up finding that this family tree, ending up with Krishna, is our true identity. So I thought that was a really very beautiful reflection, that no matter how far we go, Krishna is always at the very end or root. Lord Brahma, Manu, and then finally Lord Krishna is always at the root of our family tree. And so really that also gave me another reflection that about the word Vasudeva Kutumbakam, how we always very, very, very often we say in our Krishna culture that we are all a family. very easily we say it. But there's also a very literal meaning of this, because truly, if we look at this family tree, we're all descending from something or other that leads up to Manu, Brahma, Krishna. And so that really made me think about that, how far it goes. Another reflection I was having was how Krishna is called the great grandfather in this verse. We'll go all the way back. Small recap. How Krishna is called the great grandfather, Prapitamahascha. And I was thinking, when we think about great grandfather, when I think about great grandfather, I think about someone who's very old. But when we think about Krishna, we don't think about those things like at all. There's this beautiful verse in the Brahma Samhita that goes, where it talks about how, where does it go? Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha. Adyam purana purusham, so the oldest of all living entities. Adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha, but still he's most youthful. Nava meaning new. He's this new youthful boy. Navayovanam cha. Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So these are some reflections I was having on this verse. A small recap of our summary of chapter 12. Some reflections on Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And finally, we have Krishna, who is our ultimate relationship. So I would love to hear if there's any reflections on this verse that I've missed, if anyone would like to share. Maybe something I've said a little mistakenly, if there's someone who'd like to.
Hare Krishna, Swati Sundaraja Mataji. Thank you so much for a wonderful class as usual. Yeah, when I was little, I was also thinking like how we came, who we are. I used to ask my aunt. But after joining ISKCON, listening so many lectures from different devotees and different acharyas, and then finally we got to know like we came from him only. That is the origin.
Yeah.
And the relationship, like you are talking about the family tree, the people we got, it is not by chance. We get to connect. Something is their relationship. That's why we came so close. Like there is no name, no blood relationship, but it's beyond everything. That Krishna, what Krishna gave devotees, those are the totally different. So amazing, really blissful. And I think we were connected somewhere earlier. That's why we came closer, right?
Yeah.
So much for a very nice class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the beautiful reflection.
Good. Swati Sundaraja Mataji. Wonderful summary of the chapter. And from your class here, the last 4 verses of the chapter, very appropriate to summarize the entire chapter. Thank you very much. Okay. We are at this wonderful verge of this nice weekend. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, right around the corner. And probably today, also a lot of, they're expecting ice. I don't see the side falling, but anyway. If you are going out, make sure you drive safely. Okay. On that note, we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Narsingha,
Jai Narsingha, Shri Narsingha, Jai Narsingha Deva, Praladesha,
Jaya
Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa,
Ugraveera Mahavishnu
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvotamukam, Narsingham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamiham.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai,
Jai.
Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances. All the summer Vaishnavas, Vancha Kalpatarubhya,
Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Vajapati Kanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo ki Jai.
Jai.
Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Premanande Hari.
Haribo.
Since we are
Hare Krishna.
at the weekend, also let you know this Sunday from 8 to 9, we have a class in the morning by His Grace Mahatma Prabhu. Years back, he gave us a Japa Reform seminar. So Mahatma Prabhu is speaking on our channel after a long time. So you're most welcome. Join. I think the topic is glories of Lord Advaita Acharya and life teachings, because Monday is the appearance day of Advaita Acharya, who by his prayers invoked the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
We'll be celebrating that in our temple in the evening as a commencement of gathering devotee program after a break of probably a month. Yeah. Okay. Govinda also is on this weekend. Is available. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Surabhi. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. We wonderful class. Thank you.
Thank you, Surabhi.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, everyone. Right.